and you should share it to all your pages. Oh, here's Mario. Okay. There.
Okay. Hey, Mario, buddy. How are ya?
Good
So
guys, how are you?
we are live. Hey, we are live.
Sweet.
All right. Welcome, guys. This is Vinney Chopra and our great friends, Beau on this side. There we go. And then we got down below is, of course, John Rusin, and also my good friend right over here on this side. No, I can't do it. There we go, Mario. I'll figure it out. But thank you, guys. I'm so glad. We are trying to do this. Kind of like the topic is positivity in the time of adversity. I think the big thing is we see a lot of negative things happening, and a lot of people are really scared and they're afraid. And what is going to happen? Of course, a lot of more jobless claims came in. I mean, all this is real, but at the same token, I'm sure we'll discuss that. It may be flattening out. That's what the term is, which is a very encouraging thing. As you know, the stock market is a big believer in finding out what the sentiment is going to be. And it went up yesterday quite a bit, 1,600 points. Today it was up all the time, 600, 500. Just towards the end went down only $23 or something, 23 down points, I should say. So I think, again, the story will be told more tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then next week also. I know, we've been prepared that it may be very big number of deaths and so forth. And there's never a good time to lose anybody. But I think, by abstaining and distancing and really taking care of us, our health and exercise and everything is important. Welcome, guys. Welcome. All right. Well, let's kind of start the discussion and see, how can we make a difference in the lives of people who are listening or watching us later on. We could start with Beau on this side.
All right. So I, for some reason, like a week and a half ago, I decided to put money into Ali Bank. You can trade stock on it.
Huh.
So at first I said, okay, I'll just put $2,000 because I always lose the stock market.
But you gain.
So then I was like, oh, this is fun. And I put in like another $2,500. So I'm like all in at $5,000. It's like playing blackjack, It's like.
And how's it doing?
So, anyways, I sold my position today, and I'm up 10% on my market. $500.
$500, nice.
Yeah. So, I've noticed I've been trading a lot of like REITs because the REITs got hammered. So I have this one that I like because it's like it fluctuates between 95 cents to 60 cents a share. So I'm gonna buy it and then sell it, buy it and sell it, buy it and sell it, buy it and sell it.
Wow.
When I was younger, I used to buy the OTC stocks, the over the counter. They're the cheap penny stock. We call them penny stocks.
Yeah.
So and they can go up like 30% in a day. So it's really like gambling in my mind. I mean, I'm sure there's people that understand it like better, but it's giving me something to do. Like, oh, let's check my portfolio up. I'm up 30%. All right, and then the next day it's down like 39%. I'm like.
For those of you guys listening and don't know, Beau lives in Las Vegas, so like big
I know.
Gambling, right?
All the strip is closed, so Beau has to simulate on the laptop.
No,
Exactly.
I'll tell you what though. Like I started when I was younger. When I was in the residential mortgage business, I met this lady that I work with, and I used to call her my Asian mother. She was a Chinese lady, like double my age, and she used to take me because she was a big gambler. And we became friends, and she would take me to Las Vegas. This is before I lived here, and we'd go and play blackjack, and she could count cards. And back then they used to comp you like heavily, so I'd go and play with her, and she'd be gambling thousands and thousands of dollars. And then I thought I was really smart, so I started going by myself. I mean, I've been extremely lucky in my life. I've turned like $200 into $9,000 online on sportsbook.com in one day. So I decided to go to Vegas one weekend, and I was probably in my mid to late 20s, and I and I started gambling, and then I lost real quick. And then you can't go to your ATM if you take out $400. It doesn't allow you to take. So then you got a credit card advance, and they charge you like $70. So anyways, I took out $4,000, and I said, okay,
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna go hard. I started drinking, and all of a sudden I got into a hot streak. I turned that 4 grand into 13,000, and I went on that night. I went on a bender, partied all night. Anyways, I had like $10,000 left the next day, and
Huh.
I was flying home, and I said, "Oh, I'm gonna go quickly play some blackjack before my flight." Well, in 1 hour,
Bad decision.
I lost $10,000 in 1 hour.
Holy cow. Oh
And
my
then, and then ever since that, I don't gamble. I mean, if I
Hey.
go, like, I might go play $100, because the moral of the story is the bank's always going to win, right? The bank
Very
always
similar
beats
to ours, and I don't even, we go sometimes and not even put a dime. I'm not saying this way or that way, but you're right. I mean, these big casinos are made to make profit, and that is like money coming from some lot of people getting in the pocket of few people, very few people, and the rest is all theirs. Anyway, Mario, what do you think, man? What's going on?
Well, hey, you know what? Like you talked about, I think it's some great news right here in the Bay Area. We're having numbers taper off.
Yeah.
I don't want to be overly optimistic or jinx anything, but right now, numbers are looking great.
Yeah.
We had the governor of California give away 500 ventilators, I think, to New York, loaning them out. Some people can go back and forth on that. Some people are upset that he's doing it, but the positive in that is that we're not needing them right now, which is a beautiful thing, right?
Sure.
So the fact that it's not as bad.
And Washington State Governor did too, by the way. I think yesterday or day before, they were also directing 500, where there is a big need in New York, and we need to, help. You bet.
Yeah. So at least here in the Bay Area, it's nice. I mean, it rained all weekend here in the Bay, right? So it probably kept a lot of people in. So that, I just look at the optimism. We know a number of people in our men's group abundance that actually have been confirmed diagnosis of the coronavirus.
Wow.
And a number of them have either have had very low symptoms, or B, have gone through and recovered. They're saying their symptoms were similar to a flu. I have some 2 friends here locally that also were infected, and so the positives is that in that, at least the people I know, nobody's been hospitalized or anything else like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot of the feedback we're getting. New Orleans is getting hit pretty bad right now, and they're saying what they're seeing is people that have diabetes and so on. Those are the ones that are tending to get hospitalized. So, for the healthy individual, there's not reason to stress really. And so the conversations I've been having lately, and it's just kind of my theme for this week, is I'm making lemonade all week is what I'm saying. I'm just making lemonade out of lemons, man. I mean, we've been given this, and look at us connecting right here. Beau ditched us and moved to Vegas, and we're still able to connect with them, which is great. And, John's on the other side of the country. We're able to connect with him. So I'm looking at the positives myself. I'm learning how to work from home and, leverage my time and leverage my efforts. So,
that is so true, Mario. I'm going to give it to John. John, tell us, and then I'll share my thoughts. I think our behavior is changing as we come out of the, COVID-19. It's going to be, we'll all be different people, really. I mean, and it's quite possible that the offices, we could do productive work, not getting in the car 2.5 hours, 3 hours every day, and so forth. John, what's happening with you, bud? Tell us what's happening in Knoxville, Tennessee.
I think you're muted, John.
Oh, did I? I did not. Oh.
John, you're muted.
Oh, you're muted out. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, there we are. No, that's great. And Knoxville is beautiful. So we're not being hit too hard here in Tennessee, but I just read a report that, the original predictions for deaths, they're coming, they're predicting there's going to be a lot less death than originally thought, which is, great. It's always a good thing. Like Mario said and Beau said, the curve's flattening. So it's good. And just the impacts on the environment. So I went for a walk today, and you don't see as many cars. So this, whatever, 2 months, 3 months, hopefully will, really show people like that you can stay home. You don't have to go out, like you were saying, the shift, And when I was looking, a lot of my friends have asked, how have you been affected? But I work from home anyway, so it's awesome. So it's not, I think a lot of people are going to realize that they can do the same, and it's beautiful. I can get out of bed, come to my office here and work, and no commute, save so much time. So I think we will see a shift like that.
Yeah,
it will be. I think it has to be. I mean, if we can accomplish, especially IT companies and wherever there is not too much contact, with the other customers and things like that, why not? I mean, look what we are doing in this virtual meeting room. It's almost like, sitting in the same room and expressing ourselves in front, and we are able to see the gestures and the eye contact and everything and what we are trying to communicate. I think that's what majority of us do when we go, in financial world or IT world, and a lot of where the customer is not talking. I mean, of course, you can talk to customer even on Zoom, and it'll be like you traveled thousands of miles away and you went in their office, and they're sitting in their office, you're in your office, almost like you're sitting, on the other side of the desk.
Well, Vinney, you're like the biggest advocate of Zoom. I mean, ever since I've known you, I've never met somebody that likes to Zoom more than you. Hey, let's Zoom. You have like archived conversations from like 5 years ago, which is awesome because you can go back and, hey, remember this conversation?
I know, and we have been using WebEx, for 12 years since we have been managing assets, and all the property manager at the property. So we have been doing WebEx, GoToMeetings, and now Zoom. I like it. Skype we used a little bit, Beau, but all these three are fabulous services, and all other like the one we are doing now. Look at that. The StreamYard, right? The StreamYard. And then we got the Be Live. All these great channels. I mean, what that will do for us is have more personal time.
Yeah.
I mean, if I don't have to get in a car for an hour and a half to go to office and I'm stressed out, and then I'm getting on the laptop anyway over there, right? It's the screen of the same thing. I could look at and see the bigger screen in my office. And when I have to meet people, I could invite them into a Zoom meeting to do the meeting. They're in their desks and everywhere. And maybe just one day show up at the office to have the personal contact with my supervisor, or if I have people under me. I don't know. I mean, this could really change the behavior of all of us to say, you know what, I like it a little better. It's a much slower. It's not running and gunning and all, and I can achieve results sitting right here in my office. So I think there'll be a big change, and that'll be good for the green, for the world. And of course, the less gas and less pollution, less wear and tear. I mean, everything. But it's going to change a lot more than, we think in many, many ways.
Yeah.
Space. Go ahead. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mario.
No, I was going to say, it's exactly what you're talking about, Vinney, is where my focus has been. Is I see a lot of beautiful things happening for us in the future. I see a lot of beautiful things for the earth happening in the future. Again, we live in an area that's second to LA as far as traffic goes, and sometimes it's outrageous. And right now, I mean, I've been on the freeway, and it's like a ghost town. And I think there's other people like us that are saying, "Wow, I didn't know this side even existed." Right? Yeah. I'm being forced to see this, and it's like an awakening in very many ways. And so, some of the best things in life have come from unfortunate events. I mean, if you look back in history, look at some of the beautiful things that have come from major unfortunate events. World War II spawned many beautiful things that came out of it. It was horrific, but there was a lot of beauty that came out of it afterwards. One of the best eras in America was 1950s, right after World War II. So I don't know. I'm very optimistic. I think it's horrible for people that have families that are going through this. I wouldn't wish for this in a million years, but we're in it. There's nothing we can do about that. We just have to now ride it through and be respectful to each other, and stay at home ultimately, and then just make the best of it.
So true, so true. What you're saying, Mario, and staying home and flattening the curve and really making it go away is the best way so that we can get back to our normality.
Yeah.
And I mean, we're losing trillions of dollars. I don't know the real numbers, productivity and so forth. And of course, it's good that America is a very strong country to pump so much money into all different angles. A lot of countries in the world wouldn't be able to, and they are not able to.
Right.
Yeah. But here's the question though. Okay, it kind of looks like from all the Facebook groups I'm in, and I'm hearing real estate investors, looks like maybe right now there's like a 5%. Like I'm talking about single family and multifamily. There might be a 5% increase, maybe 3 to 5% delinquency increase nationwide so far, right? For
Is
April.
it 5 or more?
Well, I mean so far. I don't know. I'm saying I don't know what
Pretty
it is.
early on. It's pretty early on.
It's early on, so we're seeing let's just say we're seeing a 5% delinquency so far for the month of April, whatever, right? But
not really. I'm sorry. I can say that because in our properties we have collected 80% of the rents so far. That's 20% still outstanding. Delinquency is when they definitely. Oh, okay. After the 5th of the month, maybe that's what you're saying. That this account is delinquent.
Right.
I can understand that.
Okay, so when we talk again next week or on the 15th or 16th, let's say on one of your properties in Florida, you're normally collecting 98% occupancy levels, right? Or whatever the number is there.
Sure.
I'm curious to see in April what the difference is, right? Maybe it's 3 or 4%, right? But the fact is what's going to happen in May. I mean, everybody's talking about it kind of like slowing down and like Washington, but the reality of it is that there's so much delayed consequences from the economy not moving for a day, let alone 2 or 3 months, right?
Right.
Because we're laying off so many people, it's going to take so long. Plus the bank's locked up, right? Plus we're getting the stimulus. That means things are going to be screwed up. So, I mean, I think what will happen is we'll go back in to work and things, and hopefully what doesn't happen is that it doesn't come back around another level 2, right? Because that wouldn't be good. So we're better off staying indoors for longer, and suffering the consequences now rather than
relapsing. Doing
it again. There's a ton of unknowns. Exactly what you're talking about, Beau. Like, what are the repercussions? Like, we're seeing the initial repercussions, but it's going to take a while. It takes a while for that ripple to fully go through the water. So what are the repercussions next month and the months after that? And also because here's like what a lot of people are saying, people who own multifamily like yourself, Vin, where people are saying, okay, so these individuals are going to get stimulus from the government, but are they going to pay me? Because now they've been saying that you don't have to pay your rent. There's no foreclosures right now. There's no evictions right now. And all these things. So are people going to be like they're hoarding toilet paper? Are they going to be hoarding their money at the same time and not paying their rent, not paying their mortgage because they say that there can't be any consequences for them not doing that? So what is that going to look like? How is it going to play out? We've been working with our tenants and we've had everybody pay. One tenant only asked to pay a little bit late, just a few days late when no huge deal, and that was fine. But overall, nothing big. But I'm curious what next month and the next few months are going to hold for us.
I think you're right. I think, like Beau mentioned, the properties in Florida, which are like B class, in our case, B plus, because of the quality of the, like the white collar and more educated and, people who have more savings, I guess. We've been able to collect rents on time and things like I said, I'll give you some report. We had collected 70% on Friday, up to 70% in one of the property and 55%, I think, in another property. And I'm sure yesterday and today, I'll get the report today. I asked my, the asset manager to provide that. So, we can talk about it next week. But in my C plus class, right, over there in Texas and in Georgia, it's a whole different ballgame. So it's all, location specific and also demographics, I would say.
Yeah.
If there are more people, cut off from work, and there are in certain places the white collar are still working
Yep.
through from their home, so
Right.
they are going to get paid, right?
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
the whole drama. But the biggest thing is, like we just have been talking, is that to have that mindset, it's going to pass. It will. And I know it's tough time for most everybody, but the only way we can really, pass through that tough time, rough time, is to accept it. Maybe, chin it up and find ways, right?
Yeah.
Find ways to like, we talked to the local bank. Just to give you an instance, we started proactively in Houston area, and today they informed me this morning for 3 months they are deferring the mortgage payment, so they will not need that payment, interest and cash, and I'll have to then satisfy them afterwards. But
Right.
from the
But you're gonna make your payment though. You're not gonna. Why would
yeah,
you?
they're not going to forgive the payment. See, that's the other thing. The
Yeah.
worst thing happened was like, this PPP. A lot of people know that paycheck, protection plan. I mean, a lot of banks bottled up and they closed down. So we didn't even get our application in. Now they're thinking about extending it longer. Then everybody's trying to get there to get that, I think Bank of America got 22 billion claims, billion with a B, on Friday. Wells Fargo wanted to only give 10 billion because of their ratios and all that. So it never opened. The whole thing never opened. So it's a pretty big, they think it's easier, the SBA loans, small business loans, but they are not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm dealing with the same thing right now.
Yeah. I think all of us are.
That's for
And
sure.
if the money come back into the accounts yet? I mean, from 75,000 below, 1,200 or 2,400, has anybody seen any money yet? Or?
We've been talking about that in the number of groups that I'm in, and I have one guy that has confirmation but has not seen the money. He's the only person I know that actually has a physical confirmation. Everybody else doesn't even have confirmation. I submitted mine 2 weeks ago, no confirmation.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're just not ready for so much influx of, I guess, people sending applications and things like that.
Yeah. But I wanted to highlight something that you said, and you said that we need to accept the current situation. And so many people right now are still fighting the current situation. They're still, wishing that it wasn't there. It is. It's there. We have to accept it. And that's where a lot of stress comes from, is non-acceptance and fear of the unknown. But just accept it and just kind of roll with it. It's kind of like if you were out surfing and you got taken down by a wave, you're not going to fight that powerful wave. You're going to go loose and relax and wait to come up. Because if you fight that thing, you could possibly expel all your energy and all your oxygen and drown, versus just relaxing, just saying, hey, I know that something is positive is coming, and I'm just going to accept it, and I'm going to be okay with it. And it's my belief that if you do that, your eyes, your tunnel vision will open up, and you'll see opportunities. But it's when you have that fear, your vision starts coming in, and you don't see all these things on the side that are big opportunities. And that's what people say, like, why are these people so lucky? Well, it's not that they're lucky; it's that they're more accepting and they're more willing to just say, you know what, it's just a circumstance. It's terrible. It's a terrible circumstance. But we're all going to have them through our lives, and the more that we can open up and accept and then just ride it out, I think that's where the beauty is. And that's where a lot of the growth is going to be. So I enjoy having conversations with you guys about this, because I know you guys are on the same page.
No, so true. And, again, we try to do this every week, usually Monday or Tuesday. I know yesterday was a very busy day for all of us.
Yeah.
We couldn't do it. And, we would like to kind of bring to you maybe some things that are on your mind. I know in this channel, through Beau, that's his channel, he sends out. So, if you have some questions for us to discuss or help in any way, please do let us know. I know we try to keep it short so that, we get the best message out to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Any final thoughts from John or Beau? I mean, yeah, Beau.
Final thoughts is I'm using some multifamily technology or multifamily lingo.
Yeah,
Make sure you stress test your properties always, right?
yeah.
And you should have money set aside on every property going forward. If you haven't already, had 6 months of reserves for every property you have, you should have allocation, right? Because you never know when something's going to happen. And the people that have money right now, they don't care. They're looking at this as an opportunity. Like, look at the stock market, right? Let's say it goes down another 20%. They're going to buy stuff pennies on the dollar. The market's going to rebound over time, and they're going to make all the money, right? So you got to be in a position to be able to make the money. And then I'm using this time right now to like integrate my business. So when everything's so quiet, it's easy to do more creative thinking where you can think about your business and not work in your business, but work on your business. So I use that from Michael Gerber, E-Myth, that now's the time to do it. If you're ever going to have time to do deep work, Cal Newport, right? These are guys that I read their books.
Yeah.
And I know Mario does too. This is the time to do it because, all of a sudden life's going to happen again. And we're going to go outside and we're going to see the neighbors playing in the yard and life's going to happen again. But so I think you got to look at this as time to really reflect. And because at the end of the day, life is very short. So we're only here. You got to make, even if it's 2 or 3 months that we're locked up, you got to make the best of your time when you're on lovely planet Earth.
Yeah, you're gonna wish you did when you get out. You can go run around and you're gonna say, "Darn, why didn't I use my time more effectively?" It's okay to be lazy a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that, and spend more time with your family. But yeah, we have so much extra time right now. Might as well put it towards something productive.
So true, so true. What a great, thought and everything. And that's the key. I mean, these 2-3 months are given. Hopefully we'll never get them again, in our lifetime. Not like this way, but relaxing in the beach and all that. That's great. But you're right. I mean, we need to just focus in. And many times when we slow down, that's the only time we speed up, right? I always believe that. I learned that very strongly, that when we look at all the systems, where we are going, where we have come from last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and where the direction of the company it should be, I mean, that's the time we can now decide and do those changes, right?
Sure, 100%.
Yeah. John, any final thought, buddy?
I think we're going to get through it. And yeah, like to piggyback off everybody else said, you can either be lazy or you can invest in yourself, get new books, work on yourself to come out stronger. So we'll see who hasn't and has once this clears up.
That's right.
Who does John remind you of? Like,
oh boy.
Okay, he's a comedian. He's an actor. He sounds just like him. He doesn't look like him.
John.
Do you know who I'm talking about? I'm drawing a blank. But who's the actor? He's a comedian, kind of curly-ish hair.
What is he in? What is he in?
Like the race car show movie.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah, what's his name?
Oh boy.
What's that actor's name?
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell. Yes.
Oh yeah.
He sounds just like Will Ferrell.
The celebrity.
I'm gonna look like him soon if I can't get a haircut.
Yeah, right. You start getting curly.
That's why Mach 3 right here.
Love it.
Fabulous. I know we were discussing about recommendations too, and I just reminded because Beau was kind, to do that. So we should definitely do it. I'll wear my jacket, and I'm going to try to do it today, right now, before I do my next thing.
Never leave the side of setting a goal.
Yeah,
exactly. Something towards its attainment, right?
Wait, what are you doing? Hold on, I missed that.
Oh no, this was the recommendations. It's always great time to ask, the happy prospects, happy customers to give great recommendations, right? And it's good to ask for them. Many times people don't take time to do it.
Yeah.
They need to do it, but they don't, really do it. Now is the time.
Oh yeah.
Most everybody is so much available that they would take that time to do it for you. And I know Beau did it right away. I remember I acknowledge I'll do it for Beau and Mario, both of you, because you have helped me quite a bit, So
But also too, I am a paid actor, so it's a lot easier. I've been on national television, so it's a lot easier for me to improv, and it's just, it's just a skill I've developed over years of in
yes.
my acting career. So
Yeah.
I've shot a lot of video with Beau and had to put up with this ego of his.
For sure. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Hey, look forward to those who are watching us or will be watching us. Please reach out to us, and we'll see you next week with the new something special we are doing towards the COVID-19, and that is the prosperity. No, what's the word? The positivity.
Positivity.
Adversity. Yeah, in the time of adversity.
And silver lining.
you gotta ask. You're gonna ask somebody to be on the show on Friday, right?
Oh, is you are going to ask, or I'm going to ask?
I thought you were.
Oh my gosh, I didn't plan for that.
Last week on the show, you said Ted. I can call Ted if we want.
Oh, really? Ted would like to? Okay.
If you asked, I can ask him.
Okay, let's do that. I mean, he's a great CPA, real estate CPA, so that's going to be tremendous. Let's do that. Yeah.
We got to bring more people on, and so we can pick their brains and
all right.
Ask all our tax questions.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Signing off. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. Bye. Bye.